Welcome to the Cozy Cushion, your sacred space to slow down, tune in, and rise up. I'm Natasha, an intuitive guide, wellness mentor, and heart led creator, here to help you build a strong spiritual foundation and reconnect with your full time purpose. Whether it's through calming reflections, healing tools, or soulful conversations, this channel is your invitation to pause, breathe, and come back to what matters most. You. Expect cozy chats, spiritual wisdom, energy work, and real life inspiration to help you feel calm, confident, and alive. Grab a tea or coffee, take a deep breath, and let's create magic together, one moment at a time. Subscribe and join our cozy community where healing, hope, and happiness is alive. In today's video, we're going to have a quick chat about self-destruction. We're going to talk about our families and our communities in a positive light. And we're going to hold space for some transformational energy light work to take place. So maybe grab a coffee, a water, or a tea. Sit down and get cozy. I have my one of my favorite Shepra blankets with me. It's nice and cozy. It has golden flexes in it. So I really, really enjoy this blanket. And I'm just going to move these candles down to be a little bit closer to us, to surround me in nice, pure, warm, white light. There we go, friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. A topic that weighs heavy on my heart and in my mind is the state of our mental health, the state of our physical bodies, and the states of our mindset and our thought patterns. And I want to be a soft voice for all the people that may find my channel that need loving words said to them, like, I'm proud of you. I'm so glad every time you choose to do better. Sometimes we hold grudges, we hold things inside of our hearts for way too long. And I want to encourage everyone to become a processor of their own information and experiences. This is something that I have found is a challenge, has been a challenge for me, whether it was processing my mom's breast cancer and her death, her choice to refuse treatment, whether it was some heavier moments that I've had recently of having to process some information that it takes up heart and mind space because it was an experience, an event that was very difficult to put words to. And it was rather difficult for me to process because this had to do with other family members and choices that they had made during their time here on earth. And sadly, they too had to depart in an uncommon way. I'll just leave it at that. And it reminded me today of how far I've come. When I was younger and I would have heavy personal experiences, whether it was a big argument with a boyfriend or an argument with a close friend that really hurt my feelings, I had a lot of anger bones and I had a lot of emotional triggers around a variety of things. Some was abandonment, some was conversations or control. I was a young farm girl, and I just mentioned this last night to somebody very close to me, that when people tell me what to do, my impulse is to do the opposite. For example, when I had addiction issues and things were not in my best interest, the people that loved me really tried to help me in a lot of ways, whether it was coming to my home. Oftentimes, when I was addicted, my friends would find me in what I called a nest, because I suffered from anxiety and depression, and I would beat up my body by drinking alcohol and doing drugs, staying up day after day, so bad that my body would just fold and crumble into this ball of anxiety, depression, and oftentimes quite a bit of sickness. So maybe some of you resonate with this nest idea. And if you do resonate, I just want you to know that these candles are lit for you. When I found myself in self-destructive moments, what I wish I knew then was that I needed calm, I needed peace, and I needed comfort. I also needed to give it to myself, because back then I was looking to the outside world to bring those things to me, whether it was friendship. I needed friends around me all the time to keep me busy so that the demons in my mind didn't eat me alive. I didn't enjoy silence because it reminded me of the laughter of my childhood that I grieved deeply for a lot of years. When this would happen for me and I was in a self-destructive state, if I went outside and there was happy people and children playing, it was like nails on a chalkboard to me. Happiness. My life at one point was so toxic that happiness felt like nails on a chalkboard, because I was just so stuck. My mindset was stuck. I didn't believe that I deserved more. My heart was stuck because I was a single mom on welfare that was addicted to drugs, that just lost her grandfather after my parents divorced and I had my son. I lost my great-grandfather, which was my everything to me. And I didn't know how to cope with this. So I numbed myself as much as I could in a dangerous sort of way. So if you're someone that has been self-destructive and dangerous, it's hard to hear and it's hard to process. But life doesn't have to be that way. You can build up your confidence. You can decide that love is something that you give and receive. And when you give and receive love, in a genuine, authentic way. Nobody can take it from you. It's no longer scary. There was times where I would worry about jealousy and different things. And it was all because I was feeling so broken. And I wanted somebody to come rescue me and pick up the pieces and tell me it was going to be okay. Lucky for me, those people did. And I'm here to tell you that it wasn't enough. What was enough for my self-destruction to stop was seeing moms pass away before their children graduated high school, or parents being terminally ill while their children were trying to graduate high school. I've seen that a lot in my life, and it was a wake-up call to me. It was a reminder that I didn't want to be that mom. I started seeing the toxic traits in my life and the negative patterns that I had that were from my pain and my pain body and my conditioning to numbing life out. I started to change my mindset and started looking for joy instead of more pain. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. So if you're there, the Cozy Cushion is a place for you to come and visit and comment and engage with me. There's only me and my coziness. There's nothing to be fearful of. And I would like to know how you're doing, friends. I sincerely would, because I've been there. And now, my favorite thing to do is these creative videos that bring light and love to the world, to you as my viewer. And every day, I strive to be better at reaching out, strive better to keep my full-time purpose in alignment with where I want to go. Because someday, I would like to have more than this stairway. And the stairway is a perfect metaphor for our choices in life when we're stuck and our mindset's shit. We have two opportunities. We can step up to the plate and make life better, get closer to the sun. Or we can step down, diminish ourselves, and get closer to the dirt, which is not my preference. It used to be a preference, so I feel that and I understand that. But when I chose to start going up the stairs and slowly building my life every day in every way to my own desires, things that I liked and I wanted to do, like physical fitness, yoga, and breath work, and all the things that I love doing here at the Cozy Cushion, talking, being present, holding space, bringing people hope. If you have someone in your life that's struggling and you see them self-destructing, they probably don't need a reminder of how much they're hurting you or your family. They don't need a reminder of how dangerous it is. They don't need threats of when they kill themselves or someone else, then they'll know. Because they're not thinking like that. And they're not hearing you the way your heart needs them to hear. I believe what they need is an open-ended invitation of no expectation and holding sacred space of nothing but genuine, authentic love and guidance. When people feel welcome into your life space and heart, They will leave clues all over the place. They will ask for advice and opinions, and sometimes they'll surprise you. Maybe you've talked to them about building a vision board when they weren't ready to hear it yet. I've done that 100 times, and you're having a conversation with them a year or so later, and you look up on their wall and you see their vision board. You know, you can take these steps up one day at a time, and you can light candles for yourself, and you can be present. One thing that really shifted my life for me was a decision to be present for my sons. I have two amazing sons, and in the beginning, when I was a young mom, I didn't know how not to be selfish because I wasn't done growing yet. And I made a lot of mistakes. And the only thing my son ever wanted from me was to be present for myself and to love myself and to be present for him and to be there when he needed me. It took a lot of work, friends. It didn't happen overnight. It took years. Taking baby steps and tripping and falling and jumping on and off wagons. But it was worth every bit of it. The clearer I got, the less toxic I got. I mean, there was a point in my life, friends, that my body was so toxic from the trying to soothe my soul and sedating myself with medicine and alcohol and different things, that when I had my blood work done, it was so bad that my doctor made a joke. And this is when I decided to go to and seek out some rehabilitation services because my anger was really bad. So I needed anger management and I needed some help. And when I decided to do that, it wasn't easy, and it took a long time to get out of the toxic mindset. And that blood work was a wake-up call for me because the doctor had said, according to this blood work, you should glow in the dark. And I don't know how you're still alive. When a doctor says to you, I don't know how you're still alive, it made me reflect in a positive way. And thankfully, for me, I heard what they said. And friends, when I look out in society today, no matter what community I'm in or what I'm doing, I see the effects of grief and self-destruction. So hold light for people. Every day I hold light, whether people know it or not. I pray for everyone that's suffering from addiction and alcoholism and abandonment and divorce and grief and loss. I want to hold healing and I want to hold hope, because when I was going through my shit show of life, when people told me this too shall pass, I was too busy in the fast lane, being right and self-destructing. But lucky for me, so many of those people, thankfully, are still here today that were pivotal in my change. And some of the things that they had said to me was, the doctor that had said, I don't know how you're still alive. I had another friend that looked at me in the eyes during a bender of 3 or 4 days. We were having a poker game. It was a lot of fun. And I was having a great time. And they looked me in the eyes and they said, Natasha, all these people around you are no good for you. And you would be surprised at how little they care for you. friends, I was effing mad. But what I realized with that comment in that moment was anger was a big part of my life, but a destructive way. And what that comment did for me in my life was change my mindset from my anger to now be a fuel to climb those stairs. All that anger that I used when I used to fist fight at the bars went into structured martial arts in my 20s, throughout my 30s. When I had my second son, I was kickboxing 5 times a week, had climbed numerous stairs to reach the pinnacle of my career in health and wellness. I was a personal trainer, yoga teacher, breathwork instructor. I was in the best shape of my life, and my mindset still needed to transform and shift. So I want to challenge you to step up to your plate. Be the rescuer of your soul and self, and bring on your own transformation. Bring out your personal best one step at a time. If you have children, do it for them, with them. Let them be your cheerleader. And just start. It's the best journey you'll ever take to free your soul from the shit show. You are absolutely loved by me beyond words. Thank you so much for listening for this 20 minutes. You're going to hear from me again soon, friends. Take care and be kind to yourself. Go up the stairs. Go upstairs. See you soon.